Hey guys, Jack here. Today I'm bringing to you a re-upload of my Odd Eyes Magician. This is for post Bosh / post the emergency ban list, which came out yesterday as I'm recording this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. There's obviously some changes to this deck, and this is not one of them. Triple Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon to start off with. This card is obviously a namesake of the deck, as it is Odd Eyes Magician. But he deals double damage when he attacks an opponent's monster. He's level 7, so he has great synergy with the rest of the deck, as this deck revolves around level 7s mainly. And he is a searcher when he's in the pendulum zone. And after the turn that he's activated in the pendulum zone, you can pop him in the end phase and search a pendulum monster with 1/5 attack or less. So he is one of your nice searchers of the deck as well. Next up, I run one Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon. I run this for the reason that when it's special summoned, all your opponent's monsters, all your opponent's spell and traps go back to their hand, and then they have to pay 500 points to actually activate anything after that. So. And they actually can't activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation of its summon effect. So they can obviously negate the summon, but they can't go like torrential, bottomless, because the summon's already resolved, sort of thing. So, and they all get bounced back to the hand, and then they have to pay 500 points to activate anything that's been sent back. So it's just a nice way to help clear pendulum zones as well. Also a nice bit of burn damage. Next up, we run the triple Wisdom Eye, triple Oath Dragon, triple Dragon Pit, as this is all pretty much mandatory in the deck. This is like your main engine. This is your MST of the deck. This is your recycler, and this is another searcher. That's pretty much all there is to them cards there. There's not really much to say because everyone should know what these do by now. Because if you don't, where the hell have you been hiding? Sorry to be rude. Next up, I run two Jiangshi Magician. I like the Jiangshi Magician as it helps me go into Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. He's another level 7. He's another big body to attack with, so that's another reason I like him. Also, his effect to negate light monsters effects does come in handy every now and again. I can't think of it. I think it was Ptolemaeus, that was it. I did that on the field. My opponent summoned Ptolemaeus. They detached 3. They were going for infinity. Can't do that play anymore because of the emergency ban list. And I just went effect. No Ptolemaeus. You've detached and no Ptolemaeus effect then. So this guy is kind of janky because he just can screw some of your opponent's plays up like that. But he's a level 7, 2/5 beater. He's one of your low scales as well. So they're the main reasons I run him. And Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon is too broken. Next up, I run two Jiangshi Magician. Not Jiangshi Magician, Jiangshai Magician or whatever, however you want to say her name. I run her because she's another scale 8, and she's replacing 2 Skull Crowbat Joker. Her monster effect is her attack becomes equal to a monster on your side of the field, but your opponent can't take any battle damage. Not fussed about that, because might just use her to beat her to get over something. She's a level 4, which makes rank 4 players a hell of a lot easier. And her monster effect also allows me to go in. Her pendulum effect allows me to go into Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon a hell of a lot easier as well. So it just means I can go for them OTK pushes a lot more with that card because I do love that card. Next up is one Time Breaker. This is just used to help get rid of problem monsters because you can target it and an opponent's monster and banish them until your next standby phase. So he just sits there constantly recurring, and you can just keep banishing something different, or you can keep banishing the same thing if you know it's going to be a problem monster. So yeah, that's why I run it at 1. I do side another, and it is nice to side another because especially if your opponent likes to go into Nat Beast or Barkion, even though I don't run traps, but if you run a deck that runs traps and you don't like Barkion, it can just help you get rid of that sort of stuff because they can't negate it with that. Next up is the one Noble Dragon Magician. This card is really nice because I run 4 targets in the main deck and I run about 5-6 targets. No, I run 3 targets in the extra deck. So in total, I run like 8 targets for it, which is really nice because I can just use it to synchro summon and just keep pendulum summoning and turning like my Odd Eyes into level 4s as well, so I can use them for rank 4 plays as well. So this card is very versatile, and at 1 it's perfect. You don't really want to draw it. If you need it, you search it. So yeah, it's not too bad to draw into like mid game, but you know. Next up is 2 Tuning Magician. I use Tuning Magician because you can normal summon it, and synchro with it, and it goes to grave and stuff like that. And then when you special summon it, but from its text, that's what it sounds like to me. So that's how I play it, and no one's said anything to me. So if you know if when this card is normal summoned in synchro, it goes to the grave, or does it get banished then? I'm not sure. But that's how I've been playing it, where you synchro graves, then special summon it, then synchro again. That's the way I've been playing it, but that does sound a bit broken. But this card is actually really good because it does allow you to still go into Ignista even without the Draco Slayers. So that's why I run that at 2. And I run it at 2 instead of 1 because it's not searchable. Well, it's searchable by foolishing it, but that's not really searchable in my head. Next up is 1 Skullcrowbat Joker. This card is obviously at 1 now because of the emergency ban list, but obviously it's a Stratos for the deck, and that's kind of why it got hit. Next up, we run 2 Magispector Unicorn. This card is really nice, has great synergy with the deck, as it can just target a pendulum monster and bounce it back to pendulum monster in the monster zone, bounce it back, and then compulse the card, including itself. It protects itself as it can't be targeted by opponent's card effects, and it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects like all Magispectors. So it's really nice, and it has some great synergy with the deck, and I prefer it over the Apex Avian. I have done some testing with proxy Apex Avians before going to buy them, and I didn't buy them because I like that so much better. Next up for spells is triple Pendulum Call. This card is really nice because it's just a ditch and get 2 to your hand, and I have 3 targets that I like to ditch. No, 4 targets that I like to ditch. So I really don't go neg with that. So, and it protects them as well. So it's probably, in my opinion, one of the best search cards in the game at the moment, and it would not surprise me if it gets hit on the actual ban list when we get that. Next is 1 Odd Eyes Fusion. This is just helping me go into a Vortex Dragon. 2 Odd Eyes Advent. I run the ratio of 2-1 because if I can use 1 Ritual Summon into it, and then if it ends up going to grave, if my opponent ends up like negating the summon or something, and it ends up in grave somehow, I can then use my other one to Ritual Summon it from grave, because that's pretty much like the extra effect of this, which is really nice. Next up, I run the Double Sky Iris Terraforming. This is to search this, and obviously it's deck thinning, and then this is used to search out Odd Eyes cards and protect your pendulum zones, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Next up is triple Upstart. Triple Upstart, consistency. Nothing else to say about that. The 1 Regeki, Double Dark Hole, and Foolish. The Foolish is to send the Gravity Dragon and the Tuning Magicians, really. Moving on to the extra deck, I run Double Vortex Dragon. I run double because 1 for fusion and the other one in case of Absolute Dragon's graveyard effect going off. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And it's a nice card because it has the effect to negate. The 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. 1 Enlightenment Paladin. This is just used to recycle my spells, really. And her effect is when she destroys the opponent's monster by battle, they take the battle damage and then they take the destroyed monster's attack to their life points as well, so it can get off some pretty big damage if used correctly. And then 1 Ignista. It's not as relevant anymore now that I don't use Draco Slayers, but it's still a nice card to have around. 1 Starry. It can be made with Noble Dragon and 2 level 4s. 2 Absolute Dragons because Absolute Dragon be Bay because it'd be absolutely perfect. That's why. The 1 Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon for the Odd Eyes Rebellion OTKs, and now that I have the 4 reasons to go into it in the main deck in the form of the Jiangxi and Jiangshai Magicians, this card just becomes even more live, and it's so easy to get. And the way I've got this deck at the moment, it's so easy to go into. The 1 Big Eye, 1 Naruto, 1 Ascending Draco Slayer, 1 Castiel because best card in the format. 1 Cowboy, because Cowboy for game, and everyone loves Cowboy for game, and it's so funny when you Cowboy for game, because people's faces just drop. And for the last one, I run Heartland Draco. I run Heartland Draco because, obviously, these are pendulums, and if I have them face up on the field, and then face up in the zone, and just have this here, and just sat here like, come at me, bro! Because they can't declare this, they can't attack this, so they have to waste resources to get over it, and it's kind of funny making them waste like major resources just to get over 1 Heartland Draco. That's the deck. Obviously, I've had to make some major changes due to the ban list, and thanks to Bosh coming out as well. But I'm liking this how it is. But if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more videos. And I hope to see you next time with another deck profile, duel, or discussion. I will see you next time. Bye bye.